Bryan's annual college hockey party is the Bean Pot, but only those from the neighborhood are welcome for that. Now Beantown has opened its arms to another select but broader-based group. Yes, Boston College is here, but they're joined by Michigan, New Hampshire, and Ohio State. On Saturday night, one of those four will be crowned national champions, best of the best. It's college hockey's finest hour or hours, the 51st annual NCAA College Hockey National Semifinals. This is the Fleet Center in Boston, sold out. Game one of the national semifinals featuring the University of New Hampshire and the University of Michigan. For years here in Boston, they have said the weekend starts on Thursday, and what a great college hockey weekend it should be. Along with Brian Engblom, I'm Steve Levy. Should be a terrific game. If you're not familiar with college hockey, just think of these as the Stanley Cup playoffs, but instead of a series, every game, Brian, is a Game 7.
Yeah, it's sudden death, that's for sure. And your dominant players are the most important guys. You rely on them for points as usual, but they really have to control things shift to shift. And the coaches are going to ride the best and fastest horses all the way because there's no second chance.
UNH and Michigan are here. How did they get here? We'll take a look. Michigan coming out of the West, the third seed. They first knocked off Princeton, then North Dakota in impressive fashion, while UNH, the fifth seed out of the East. BU was supposed to be here. Not the case because of the speed of the Wildcats.
Well, UNH team is a transition team and an outnumbered attack team. Mark Maurer is the epitome of that. He scored 2 shorthanded goals in the last game to get them to where they are right now. This offensive group up front is extremely deep. UNH is going to really take it to Michigan. Doesn't matter whether they're even strength, a man short. Doesn't matter how many guys are on the ice. This UNH team could really take it to you.
For New Hampshire, this is their first appearance in what they're calling the Frozen Four, not the Final Four. Edge to Michigan, Brian. They've been here in 6 of the last 7 seasons.
Yeah, it's true. They have a couple of seniors at least who've been here before. But Red Barons has said earlier on that we're fortunate to be here because they do have 9 rookies. But I'll tell you, this team is really resilient. They were down 2-0 and 3-1 to North Dakota, and they're here to talk about it. And I think this team is also very well coached and very coachable. They're able to make a lot of changes during the course of the game. And when you're in a sudden death situation just like this, I think that's absolutely critical. If you can make those little fine-tuning adjustments during the course of the game, you really put the other team on back seat.
The NCAA College Championship Tournament started first in 1948. Michigan won 6 of the first 9 titles. The last one, back in '96, came under head coach Red Barrington. He looks to add to that here in Boston this weekend. We are just minutes away from this first national semifinal game in Boston. New Hampshire taking on Michigan. Back at the Fleet Center along with Brian Engblom, I'm Steve Levy. In this decade, there are 3 groups of seniors that will play in 4 consecutive Frozen Fours. 2 of those groups come out of Boston University, and the other is this collection of Michigan seniors, Brian.
Yeah, this is an interesting group, and the fact that they've gone 4 straight times to the finals is incredible, and it's really important to this team because there's 9 freshmen on this club. The 3 main seniors, Turco, McCall, and Herr. Turco, the goaltender, McCall, the goal scorer, and Herr, the captain and the all-around leader. Turco, I think, is going to be the key guy. 125 career wins. That's an NCAA record. He's very aggressive. He's very vocal. I had a good chat with him yesterday. He's really a lot of fun to watch. He'll be like a third defenseman out there. He'll be helping his guys all over the ice. He's an excellent hockey player.
This senior class has compiled in their 4 years at Michigan a winning percentage of just about 800. And there are still a couple more victories out there to be had. Will they get it up against New Hampshire? Michigan fans have come out in force. The national semifinals start next. ESPN2's coverage of the 1998 NCAA semifinals is brought to you by Taco Bell. There's something inside you that's hungry for Taco Bell. Want some? Back at the Fleet Center in Boston, you would think this would be a New Hampshire-dominated crowd. Not necessarily the case. Does any college in America support their teams better than Michigan? They have shown up in force. Our goaltenders tonight, and we'll start with New Hampshire with Sean Mathill.
Sean Mathill has had a terrific year. He's a very engaging young man. He's been all smiles, just like that picture you see there. I had a good talk with him yesterday. He is absolutely loving it, and he is cranked up to go up against Marty Turco, the goaltender at the other end of the ice, and well, he should. 125 career victories, the most of anybody ever. Tremendous abilities in the net, out of the net. He will be extremely active and act like a third defenseman out there for Michigan.
And the head coaches for this game, we start with the head coach of New Hampshire, and that's Richard Umili in his 8th year.
These coaches love to talk about their teams. That's one thing about NCAA hockey, which I just love. These guys are so engaging. He's just loving it here. He knows he's going to have a tremendous amount of fan support. And Red Berenson, a little more low-key guy, but terrific response again when you talk to him about his club and what they've done this year. 9 freshmen. Red Berenson and his guys have done a great job with them.
Winner of this game will advance on to the national championship game, which will be held here at the Fleet Saturday night. And the winner will take on the winner of tonight's other semifinal between Boston College and Ohio State.
And I think we're in for a real treat here. These are 2 pretty fast teams. UNH in particular is a tremendous transition team. They are going to be wheeling out there, and they are going to challenge Michigan to do something about it. Michigan can skate. Michigan will probably try to slow them down a little bit and control the tempo a little more their way. But they have the ability to play a fast game as well. They get some good young defensemen. 4 of their 6 D are freshmen, and they have talent and they can wheel.
Our referee this afternoon is Mike Noeth. No linesmen in college hockey. They call them assistant referees, and they are Fred Capitelli and Joel Dupree, an ECAC crew. And we're underway in our first semifinal game. New Hampshire up against Michigan. Michigan considered the home game for our purposes. They come in as the higher seed. The 3rd seed out of the West, New Hampshire the 5th seed out of the East. Bubba Berensweg, first good pass out of the zone, has Mark Kosick. His shot is blocked at the defense, but comes back for Dave Hunsicker, who's able to hold the zone. You'll notice a lot of space behind the net. That's Kosick, number 9 in goal, has the puck on his backhand. Dumps it back down deep for Bill McCall, the man to watch, in goal for Michigan. Kosick will get to it, back of the cage. Spins away from the check. McCall comes away. Good cycling down low and some good offensive pressure early here by Michigan, but Dan Enders takes away for New Hampshire. Rolls up on the point. Bubbersweg able to keep in, but New Hampshire able to come out and they'll clear.
Good first shift for Michigan for sure. You get in there, you want to get in the offensive zone, move the puck around a little bit. They did. Both teams looking for a little contact to get themselves into it. Tremendous amount of butterflies when you're in a sudden death situation, which is what all these games are.
You think, I mean, every single slightest mistake could cost you a chance at a national title. These aren't pros. These are young kids. That's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, it is. You really can't approach it that way. You just have to go out there and play. Know that goals are going to be scored, and if you mess up something early on, it's really going to be a test to your confidence level. You'll know you have to go back out there and do something good to make up for it.
UNH will fire in with Eric Lind. Stop back in the net. And Michigan looks to come up through the center of the ice. Play is broken up. Justin Clark has and tips it in.
And speaking of center ice, remember, folks, you see that red line, but it doesn't count in college hockey. There's a pass right there that would have been 2 lines in the National Hockey League. The center line doesn't count. There are no 2-line passes in NCAA college hockey.
Boy, that was right on cue, Brian. Just as you were explaining it, there was a perfect example. They fire it back out to center. And they're just offside at the New Hampshire blue line. And we pointed out a lot of space behind the net. And you'll get a look at that right there, Brian.
Well, there's the goal line. We are in the Fleet Center, the home of the Boston Garden. See that little white patch there in the yellow kickboard at the bottom? That's where the normal goal line is. This is where it is for NCAA tournaments. It's 4 feet, moved up 4 feet. Now, to keep the distance inside the zone from blue line to net is 60 feet. So the neutral line changes by 8 feet. It is now 50 feet wide instead of 58 feet wide when the Bruins play it.
And 4 feet behind the net. That's an awful lot of space.
Yeah, it really changes things. Looking down on it looks so strange to us after covering the National Hockey League all the time, but there's a lot of room guys would love to work with there.
Wayne Gretzky's pretty good with 11 feet behind the net. Imagine him with 15 feet to work in his office behind the net. That'd be hockey suicide. Back out at center, New Hampshire gets to it, and they flip, and it just went into the Michigan bench and bounced back onto the ice. We're scoreless early on, Michigan and New Hampshire.
Well, UNH has spent a lot of time so far in their own zone, but they're a very skilled, very quick team, quicker than most. Excellent transition team. They've got really good special teams. Their weakness is down low, and I think that's what Michigan is trying to exploit right now. And the other thing, too, is that when UNH gets going offensively, they have a tendency to turn pucks over just to the front of the Michigan net. They'll throw it blindly to the front, and that could spell danger for them because there's some pretty good, young, quick Michigan defensemen out there.
Marty Turco is out to handle the puck, and it's sent right back at him behind the net. Good hitting in college hockey. I think you'll see that every single college hockey player takes the body, which is certainly different from what you see in the National Hockey League game. Back behind the net, 2-on-1 Michigan advantage. The puck comes back to the point. Blocked at the defense, never made it on goal. That shot does make it on goal, and Turco, his first stop of the game, off the shot there. Rolled in on goal. That one is stopped as well by Mattel, and he'll hang up as we get a whistle, and our first penalty of the game is coming up as each club has now fired their first shot on goal. We're scoreless early on.
What Invesco knows.
There's a medical emergency, but no hospital. What do? Build one. Leadership. Learn it now in the Army Reserve. Use it now in your career.
Well, Michigan will go on the power play. There's a penalty down low, number 2 blue, Eric Johnson. That's the holding call right there, away from the puck. So Michigan goes on the power play first time around, the first chance to draw blood.
Johnson, the penalty at 3:16. The power play for Michigan in the CCHA was ranked 3rd in the conference, clicked at just over 20%.
Those numbers are pretty good. When I talked to Red Berenson, though, he didn't feel real confident in his special teams. Maybe he was just lying in the weeds. We'll see.
Here's the power play right on, and a glove save, and it just might have kicked a piece of the post after it went off Mattil's glove. Best scoring opportunity by far goes to Michigan on the power play as they look to set it up here. Kosick has the puck. Goes back for Bill McCall. Kosick again. Dumps it down low. Centering pass broken up. Rolls through the crease. And Mattel will come out and grab it. Half his body out of the goaltender's crease, the other half in it.
Well, it started off a little bit shaky. A good shot from Chris Fox from well out at the blue line. And Mattel got a hand on it, but he doesn't get it all. Here's the shot. There's the glove hand, and right off the crossbar. Oh, was that close. And that was from well out. He wasn't screened or anything. Maybe just a little uptight early on. Didn't move that glove hand as quickly as he would have liked to. But still 0-0 game.
Face-off won by Michigan. Now they look to set it up here. Wolverines on the power play for another $1.20. And it just popped over the stick. And it comes back out to center as Rob Gagnon could not hold the point. He's a forward playing the point on the power play.
And there's going to be a lot of pressure on the defenseman or forwards, whoever's on the point for Michigan. Remember, this UNH club shorthanded 15 shorthanded goals this year, folks. That is incredible in the relatively short season that they play. And they put particular pressure on the defensemen when they're at the point. If they bobble the puck at all, the UNH players will go out there and put tremendous pressure on them. Up ice, when UNH is killing penalties, they won't put a lot of pressure. They'll come back to their own blue line, and they protect it pretty well. There's the offside play, standing up really well. UNH was there, but again, they'll really pick their spots, and if somebody is bobbling the puck, watch for the guys in blue to jump all over them shorthanded.
Michigan looks to come out, and there you see the Wildcats penalty killing, 4th in the nation. There are a lot of teams in the nation, so 4th is darn good.
Yeah, but it's those 15 shorthanded goals that really have to scare the heck out of you if you're Michigan.
Power play continues on. Bubba Berenswag will work one of the points, and he is back there along with Mike Van Ryn. In and fired right back out by New Hampshire. Pretty good penalty kill early on. 30 seconds remaining in the penalty to Eric Johnson.
When these New Hampshire defensemen get a hold of the puck and they just shoot it up the ice, they're trying to sort of halfway make a pass, and the forwards are on the fly.
Here's Van Ryn. He's got it. Lets it go. Shot. Save, Mattil. Rebound is loose. Save, Mattil. And he'll hang on. 2 big stops by Sean Mattil, keeping his team in the game early.
Sean Mattil with 2 big saves for sure. Michigan has really come out and put the pressure on UNH. UNH, I think, is a little bit flustered right now. They can't get their game going. Sean Mattil has had to hold them in. He has had one go off the crossbar, but with traffic in front and the shooters cranking it from outside for Michigan Wolverines, Sean Mattil with good position. He's a big kid. He's 6'4", about 208 pounds. He comes out to the edge of the crease, and I'll tell you, he's always got a smile on his face. We can't see underneath that mask, but I'll bet you he's smiling right now.
Mathiel named to the All-East Regional team. He comes in 10th all-time on the UNH list in terms of saves in his career.
And as if the situation didn't call for good goaltending enough, he knows that, but he's really cranked up the play against Turco, the guy with the most wins ever in college hockey down at the other end for Michigan.
Shots early on we have as 5-0 in favor of Michigan. They started their first shift in the opening faceoff was great. Although UNH had a shot up on the board earlier, they've taken it away from them. Power play is over, and a shot from McCall from the one-timer is stopped by Mathiel. He's certainly in the hockey game, and they clear the length of the ice.
Well, we're still in a power play situation because UNH Greg Nallo went to the penalty box to get the official call on that. So one player came out, but it's still a 5-on-4 situation for Michigan.
It's sent inside the Michigan zone. Christian Brignalo was sent to the penalty box for high sticking. And that was from the alternate referee. Here's Mowers in, shot. Blocked at the defense, and it hopped over the net. Mowers will tip it back behind the cage. And Michigan will come out at center. Broken up and fired right back in. I think, again, it went inside the Michigan bench. Whistle with 13:54 to go in a scoreless first. Well, one of these teams will advance on to play in the national championship game Saturday night here at the Fleet. The winner of this game takes on the winner of our game tonight. Ohio State and Boston College. 8 Eastern, right here on the Deuce. You can bet the BC faithful will be here in Boston.
Here's a shorthand pressure. Mark Maurer scored 2 shorthanded goals in their last game. This was the best sequence that UNH has had. That one hit the shaft of the stick. The Michigan defenseman backed in, got crossed up a little bit as to who was going to take the guy going to the net. And Mowers is a smart guy. He took the shot, just had a little bit of bad luck. You know what? UNH was real lucky that they didn't get another penalty there. They made a bad line change. The guy coming off touched the puck already. He was a good 20 feet away. And the man who was headed to the box on the line change wasn't within 25 feet of the box. So they were very lucky they didn't end up seeing him short.
Here's Michigan now, so they still have the man advantage now as they try to cut in on the side. Mathiel will play it away with the stick. Battle in the corner. A couple of players go hard crashing. And New Hampshire's Mike Souza is able to flip out. And they'll go for a change. 18 seconds left in the power play.
And you can see Turco come out and play the puck. And, of course, he can shoot the puck all the way up to the far blue line, which he did there.
Jason Krog, the top offensive player for New Hampshire, 28 in blue, had an opportunity. But you saw how fast Michigan players surrounded him. And the Wolverines will fire in as Michigan goes for a change. Power play is over. They've killed it off. They had a 5-on-3, actually a 2-man advantage for about 15 seconds or so. And so UNH has been able to kill it off. Wildcats have to feel very fortunate to be in this scoreless game the way Michigan has started here.
And I think their guys, their go-to players on the bench really have to take control now and say, let's settle down, guys. We don't have any against us, but we can play a lot better. Some of their guys like Mowers who have already tried to step it up on that last shorthanded shift. UNH has to get things rolling. They are not on their game yet.
Back at center. Wow, a couple of players just crunch Tom Nolan right into the New Hampshire bench, and we get a whistle. 12:17 to go. The UNH bench, that's where the action is. Back in Boston for the first meeting since November of '84 between Michigan and New Hampshire. November 3rd of '84, UNH came away with a 9-4 victory. I have a feeling this game will be much closer. This is the national semifinals here on ESPN2. Run one already. It's been a wonderful weekend for college hockey here in a great college hockey town. Giveaway in center ice. Here come the Wolverines who like to break in. And a good opportunity by Dale Rominski, but a better defensive play to break it up.
Rominski is one of those bangers. He's usually good along the wall, and he's going to put a lot of pressure and physical play against UNH. That was a real good move through the middle of the ice.
Berensweg is forcing the play at center, the defenseman, but UNH will fire down. Michigan looking to come out. Rominski couldn't handle the pass, and it's just inside the zone. Again, we have played 8.5 minutes, and officially, New Hampshire has yet to record a shot on goal.
And he had one good scoring chance and went off the shaft of the stick. It was an excellent scoring chance, I might say.
And there's a shot on goal from the angle, and that's easily stopped by Marty Serka. It has been all Michigan except on the scoreboard. where we remain scoreless.
UNH is really picking their spots. They're sitting back almost in a trap formation, although neither one of these teams likes to trap at all. Both coaches really bristle when you mention the trap. But I think UNH is trying to regain themselves so much now. They look as if they're playing the trap back around the center red line and trying to turn some pucks over. But Michigan has had the puck most of the time, has controlled play, and has been smart. When they've had time, they've used it. When they haven't, they've moved the puck very quickly. They're most definitely in control of this first period.
Approaching the midway point of this hockey game. Steve Levy, Brian Engblom from the Fleet Center in Boston. College hockey, the national semifinals here on ESPN2. Glad you could take some time off on this Thursday afternoon. Here's Krug trying to break in. He's checked by Hunsaker. And they 2-on-2 it in the corner. Battle up along the wall. And then finally, it's Bobby Hayes able to come out. Hayes takes it away, and Hunsaker fires in.
Fox and Hunsaker did a terrific job there. Krug's got a lot of speed. He was trying to take it wide. He had absolutely nowhere to go. Just good physical play by Fox and Hunsaker.
Behrenswood fires it down deep. McCall trying to center in front. Loose puck, and it's not loose anymore. And that's because Sean Mattill is on top of it, and we get the whistle.
Well, the strengths for Michigan really start in goal. Marty Turco has got 125 career victories, and he is a real leader back there. He's a senior. He's been through this experience before. He's really good with his defenseman, talks to him a lot. And this team in general is extremely resilient. I mean, when you're down 2-0 and 3-1, their previous games in North Dakota, the defending national champs, you know that nothing seems to bother them. And I think this team really adapts extremely well. They're really coachable. They can make changes on the fly, which makes them very dangerous. But with 9 freshmen, you have to wonder if that inexperience is going to make them uptight at some point or other, Steve.
Face-off won by Michigan, and Mike Van Ryn got the shot and the save, and the caught glass. And we get a whistle. And I believe another penalty is coming up here as we remain scoreless.
Well, the Michigan Wolverines have very few seniors. They only have 5 actually that are on their roster, and 9 freshmen. They lost so many guys from last year. 5 seniors, 7 juniors, 4 sophomores, and 9 freshmen. Folks, that is incredible. Last year, Red Berenson had a very experienced club. They were the #1 ranked team in the nation. They had a disappointment. They didn't win the whole thing, and they lost 100 goals from last year's team. 5 20-goal scorers off of last year's Michigan team. So the fact that they are back here at all is really saying something about this group. Red Berenson and his players.
Offside at the blue line of Michigan. No penalty was called on the play. The indication was for a high stick. The puck touched above the shoulder, and that's where we got the earlier whistle.
Here's the goal scoring. Last year, 242 goals, 156. And as I said, they had 7 20-goal scorers last year. They lost 5 of them. So they've suffered in that department, but they've obviously patched it together extremely well. And Marty Turco back in net is probably the best player development person at the University of Michigan. He can make up for a lot of mistakes.
And you see Turco handle the puck, Brian. We mentioned the space behind the net. How about for the goaltender to get back there with all that space and make the play? Here's Andrew Merritt running in, and he was crushed as the puck rolled right through the crease. Merritt getting up slowly, but he is getting up. And no whistle as New Hampshire tries to come out to center.
That was the best display of checking by Dan Enders, 22 for UNH. Good, solid checking. Michigan a couple of times now has tried to drive wide. They have not been able to do either. So maybe UNH, especially the defensemen, are starting to settle in.
Here's Bill Traynor coming in. Traynor, the freshman, shot from the angle. Went wide. Looks like they're really checking Mattill's angles. Not sure if that's part of the strategy or that's just the way it's worked out. Here's Jason Chapolsky at center. Gives it off there for Derek Becker, one of the top goal scorers in the nation. Forecheck by Dylan Delazay. And Michigan will look to move out ahead of center. Back the other way. Here's Cossack. Tied up at the blue line. And that's where we get the whistle for offside.
Well, a lot of physical play so far in this first period. Everybody's trying to really whoop it up. UNH is a team that really has to respond. It's still a 0-0 hockey game, but they've got to do something. Michigan is leading the game.
Well, that's a very nice sign, guys, but you're only like 4 hours early. Sports Center doesn't start till 6:30 Eastern, but it got him on TV.
That guy with the silver hair looks like a relative, Steve. You got relatives everywhere.
He'd be holding up a sign. I'm a relative, yeah. A lot of the New Hampshire faithful on here, and some of the great stuff in college hockey, some of the pageantry that's not just associated with college football, but you get it with college hockey as well. As the puck is flipped out of play, and into the crowd with 8:09 to go here in the first. Well, we are in the home of the Boston Bruins, and that means the Bruins can't play here. Boston on the road. They'll be in Buffalo, and you'll see that tomorrow night right here on ESPN2 at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. And you get some goaltending in that one. I mean, everybody knows about Dominic Hasek.
Oh, I wouldn't want to be playing against either one of those guys.
Byron Dafoe
has very quietly had a terrific season for the Boston Bruins, and Dominic Hasek is, well, he's Dominic Hasek. What else do you need to say?
I think Boston's been the most pleasant surprise in the Eastern Conference this season. Fighting for home ice advantage in the first round and a chance to open those Stanley Cup playoffs here at the Fleet Center. Frog is hit hard, and he will be hit hard every single time he's touched the puck. That's the guy Michigan will want to focus on. Wolverines will fire right back in. Under 8 to go here in the first. We're scoreless. Shots are 7-1 Michigan. Here's a chance. Backhand off the wraparound by Justin Clark, was knocked aside by Sean Mathill, who has been the early MVP of this first period. And a hard hit there by Clark. Flattened his man.
Oh, and another one, too.
And a penalty is coming up on the initial play. And I don't believe there'll be a second penalty.
Yeah, there were some big hits on that last shift. One of them is going to cost Michigan 2 minutes in the penalty box. And maybe UNH can get something going on their power play if they can get some puck control. Number 7, Clark, in the penalty box for Michigan. There it is right there. That could be charging, could be interference, because the player did not have the puck yet. And then right after that, there was another pounding down low. But this is a wraparound attempt. And Sean Mathill did a great job to get there early. He's 6'4". He got his left leg over there very quickly, took away everything down low. And then Justin Clark, maybe a little bit frustrated at the missed wraparound chance, takes the charging penalty.
So we see our first UNH power play on the Clark charging penalty at 12:28. New Hampshire looking to get some offense going here. And here's the man they'll look for, Jason Krog. He's got the puck. Off for Mark Mowers. Comes back to the point. Shot was tipped for a screen in front, and Turco might have gotten a piece. Quarterback on this power play is Jamie Filipowicz, an outstanding offensive talent. Backdoor shot, save! What a stop by Turco. Only his third save of the game, but it was a dandy off the stick of Tom Nolan. And here's Mowers the other way. Mowers leaves there. Shot left wide of the net. They play it back to the cage. New Hampshire finally showing some signs of offensive life.
Nolan, Krog, Beckers, and Mowers, 4 forwards out here for UNH. They really move it around. Some terrific scoring chances here.
Filipowicz's shot just off the outside of the puck. Here's Berensweg. Short-handed shot. Score! On the rebound. It's Bubba Berensweg, the defenseman. A short-handed goal. And Michigan scores first. They lead 1-0.
Isn't that the way it always is? We talked about UNH's 15 shorthanded goals this season, and it's Michigan who scores a shorthanded goal. Berensweg, a defenseman, jumping up on the play, cranks the shot. Mathill makes the save, can't control the rebound, and perfect timing for Berensweg. He just continues on to the net and gets a free empty net, but Turco held them in. He kicked one off into the corner there, a couple of really good, solid chances. That one is where, that's how the chance actually happened. And Berensweg obviously was reading the play because he was in front of the net. He jumped out of the hole in the slot area, anticipating the puck coming around the boards and up the ice, and he finished it off. 1-0 Michigan.
Brian, you mentioned 4 forwards on the New Hampshire power play. And that comes into play there a little as well.
Yeah, they were pressing a little bit. I think they smelled blood. They had a couple of good chances. They wanted to finish it off and score first in this game because they haven't had much puck control or much success in really anything so far in this first period. And then they get burned shorthanded. Big goal for Michigan.
And it's fired out. Power play continues for 23 seconds. It is Berensweg at 13:34 shorthanded. The assist to Bill Trainer, the freshman. 1-0 Michigan.
Sorry, Steve. Unfortunately for UNH, too, there normally is a pretty big drop-off as you see Turco out again. He's so cool and calm out of the net. The Michigan goaltender.
Giveaway! Here's a chance. Shot. Save by Mathill to keep him in the game. That was Matt Herr breaking in. And that might have been shorthanded in the final seconds of the penalty, which is now over. We're back to 5 aside.
Yeah, that was Christian Bregnallo who turned the puck over. He was trying to make a pass he just shouldn't be doing. There's another one.
Here's Clark down low for Merrick.
Anytime you pass the puck through the middle of the ice in your own zone, you have to be 100% sure. Dragnello apparently wasn't. He handed it right over to the Michigan players who got a free shot. UNH again off their game now.
Dumped down low. Here's McCall. McCall centering pass. Tried to tee up his man for the one-timer, but he couldn't hit Mark Kosick, and it's back out of center. Justin Clark probably won't catch too much heat for that penalty. Threw a hard hit. His team scored a shorthanded goal while he was in the penalty box.
Yeah.
1-0 Michigan.
I don't think they'll want to try it all over again, but you're right. It turned out just perfect.
Here's McCall. Good centering pass. Shot. Blocked at the defense. Sliding defenseman able to make the play. Comes up for Barons with the goal scorer. He'll let it go. Shot is blocked through heavy traffic as Kosick was in front of the net. And finally, New Hampshire able to clear. And there's our first look at non-touch icing. You don't have to go back and touch it up. They blow the whistle just as soon as it crosses the end line. Sean Mathieu, he's down one, but he's still keeping his team in the game.
The Land Rover Discovery, often imitated, never duplicated.
Marty Turco, the goaltender, did his fair share on that last penalty-killing sequence before the shorthanded goal, because look at the pass from Becker down low in front of the net to Nolan. A terrific job by Nolan, and even better job by Turco, and then Michigan scored right after.
Shot Michigan nearly scored right there as well. Matt Hurl go to the corner. He had that last great opportunity. Krog gets to it. Giveaway. Out of the corner shot. Saved by Mathieu. And it rolls through the crease. Boy, it's been all Michigan from the start. New Hampshire looked good on the power play. Michigan scores a shorthanded goal. And since then, again, it's been all Michigan. Still, New Hampshire fortunate to only be down 1-0. Under 4 to go here in the first.
Yeah, according to what is supposed to happen, if you want to put it that way, everything should be reversed. New Hampshire should be the team that has the puck all the time. They have the forwards and the puck control ability. They're the ones who normally score shorthanded goals, but everything has been Michigan. And Michigan has done a terrific job of controlling this game.
Shot fired wide, and it comes back up for Michigan, and they bang right into the assistant referee. Remember, he's not a linesman in college hockey. Krog can't get in. Michigan looks to move it out the other way. Scott Matska at center, off the feed, into Berensweg, whose shot just rolls wide of the net.
And that was another 3-on-2 for Michigan. They've had at least 3 or 4 of them in this first period. That's too many for UNH.
Here's Krog at center. Back the other way. Back check by Scott Matska, number 10 in goal.
Krog's probably had the puck more than any other UNH player, but he hasn't had much room. Once he gets anywhere near the Michigan blue line, there's way too many guys with gold jerseys on, and UNH has not been able to move the puck around inside the Michigan end, except on that one power play.
Dan Enders just threw a good hit for New Hampshire on Jeff Koch, the freshman. By the way, Koch was given the assist. They took the assist away on the Berensweg goal, away from Trainer, and they give it to Koch. So one freshman for another freshman. Michigan doesn't care at this point. It is the 1-0 lead. Coming up on 2.5 to play here in the first. Here's New Hampshire coming out of center. Dylan Delazay leading the rush.
That's the smoothest, best breakout that UNH has had so far in this first period. They haven't had many of them, folks. Just so much good pressure. Smart puck control by Michigan. That was the first time that UNH came out smoothly, though.
Van Ryn fires in. Kosick in on the forecheck. And they come back out of center. New Hampshire trying to get some offense going. Again, Michigan standing up very nicely. And now finally it goes deep in the corner. Mike Souza will get there first. Souza leads for Shapilski. And Shapilski back behind the net. Turco is there to stick it away from Sadowski. And McCall in his own zone. Working around the wall. Michigan, 2-on-2 they battle.
Michigan hasn't looked rushed at all. When they've had the puck, they've looked very calm under pressure. And again, this is a team that has 9 freshmen, and they play them a lot. They've really done a good job of controlling the puck. And it's the UNH team that's been running around and reacting instead of acting.
We are a minute 27 away from our Taco Bell intermission report. We'll take you to the ESPN News Network for a look at some of the late night Major League Baseball you might have missed. Major League Baseball a couple days old now, and Paul Pierce turning pro. We've got some college news for you as well. That's all coming up on the Taco Bell Intermission Report.
Red Berenson has to be pretty happy with what he sees so far. He'd just like to keep it going. 8th consecutive tournament appearance. That's 5th all-time on the list. He's really done a lot of good teaching this year. He and his staff, he's very quick to point out that his assistant coaches have done a terrific job. He said he just stands back and watches and practice a lot of times.
Shot from the angle is right on and up high from Chad Onufrichuk. Earlier we asked Red Berenson, the coach, he was a bit surprised his team is here.
I'm a little surprised, but I think I'm mostly impressed with the way our team has come together and the way our veteran players have played and the way our upperclassmen have stepped into new roles that they've never had before, and the way our younger players have kind of filled in between the cracks with our whole team. So it's been a team thing, not an individual thing.
Red's team was in some trouble there for a couple of seconds, but now Michigan is able to work it out. 2-on-2 as they hit center, and they'll put it in. Final minute to play here in the first period, and we get a whistle.
Red Berenson said a lot of things in that little piece there. His seniors stepping up into roles that they haven't normally been used to. Guys like McCall, who is a goal scorer but is also now a senior, needs to lead in a lot of different ways. And of course the freshmen stepping up and filling in the cracks. Well, there's a lot of cracks when you lose 9 guys and you lose 5 20-goal scorers from the previous season. And everybody has pulled together, and boy, they're firing on all cylinders right now. Wow.
Here's a chance as Mowers looks to break. He's in around one man. Mowers in, and a great sliding block there by Michigan as they broke up the play nicely. That was Dale Romanski, the forward on the back check there. Here's McCall trying to swing through. Still got the puck. Goes cross. His pass is picked off, and New Hampshire looking to break. Derek Becker. Becker was double-teamed and put down to the ice. You hear the groan from the New Hampshire fans who were looking for a penalty call there.
The Michigan players are just revved up, though. There was a bad turnover by McCall, but he knew it. He got down. There were lots of help. There was really never any danger of UNH doing anything with that turnover inside their own zone, and that's pretty much been the story here of this first period. They're going to have to change things in the intermission. UNH is going to have to, that is, because they just haven't been able to get any offensive momentum going, and they're feeling it. The Michigan defensemen have had a lot of support from their forwards. There's Becker going through the middle. Look at McCall. He came out of nowhere. He was the one that turned the puck over and accidentally gave it to Becker deep inside the UNH zone. McCall more than made up for it there. Didn't need any help. I gave it to him. I'll take it away.
Shots are 14-4 in favor of McCall's in Michigan.
This guy is a really skilled hockey player. He's got size. He's got everything he needs to be a first-class player, and certainly is.
Face-off. Good face-off. Win by Michigan with 15 seconds left. We'll get some numbers for you on the face-off, but just from up here, it seems as Michigan has dominated the draws, really in all 3 zones. Final 2 seconds of the first period. And a first period, I think, Brian, that both clubs can feel good about. New Hampshire, the fact they're only down 1-0 after Michigan has dominated.
Well, it's a sudden death situation. You don't play a series in these types of tournaments, Steve. They have to make changes. UNH must make some changes. They're not on top of their game. They're going to have to grab hold of themselves. Michigan had a terrific first.
Michigan is 2 periods away from a shot at the national championship. New Hampshire figures to have something to say about that. The ESPN News Network comes your way after these messages.
This intermission report is brought to you by Taco Bell. Now let's join the ESPN News Network.
New Hampshire is just about set to take the ice. They will take the ice for the second period, down 1-0 to Michigan, and the fans have come out in force. Welcome back inside the Fleet Center, everyone. Steve Levy along with Brian Engblom, and it's a feel-good first period. I think both clubs can probably feel good. New Hampshire, the fact they were dominated and they're only down 1-0, and Michigan, the fact they have the 1-0 lead.
Yeah, at least they both got their feet wet. Michigan has to be ecstatic. I think they're real happy. UNH has to pull themselves up with the bootstraps. They got to change things in a second.
All right, as far as territory, this is UNH territory. This is New England, but the territorial edge in the first period was all Michigan.
Yeah, it was. There was a lot of good contact in that first period by both teams. They were really pounding each other around. The territorial play puck-wise definitely went to Michigan, but you could see UNH took their shots whenever they could as well. And Turco was terrific. There's a save on Nolan down low. That was right before the shorthanded goal, and this is it. Bubba Behrensweg takes the shot and then follows it up. That's the key. Jason Krog couldn't get to in time. Normally, it would be UNH scoring shorthanded goals. There's the numbers on the first period. Scoring chances, 8 for Michigan and 3 for UNH. And face-off, Michigan with a big advantage in that area as well.
As we get set for the second period, in a 1-0 game, Michigan has the 1-0 lead over New Hampshire. Both teams have hit the ice, and we are set to go. I'd have to say that Sean Mattil was the story of that first period, with 14 shots fired at him. I'm sure his coach was thinking about him. He was speaking about him before the game.
I think Sean's been obviously the leading person as far as their overall team defense. His goals against is very strong. He's one of the top ones in the country. With a young defense, often been referred to as the no-name defense, they really helped him out keeping, so he could handle just the first shot and not having to deal with second and third shot rebounds. But Sean has consistently played well for us and given us an opportunity to win each night.
Second period underway here in Boston, and we get a whistle, and I believe a roughing penalty is coming up.
Sean Mattil is giving them a chance to win. Down only 1-0 after that first period, in large part due to some pretty darn good saves that he made. And unfortunately for Mattil and his teammates, they're going to be down a man right now. Enders in the penalty box. Take a look at it. Cross-check or a push. There's the cross-check. Oh, yeah, right across the side of the neck. That'll get you 2 minutes every time. Dan Enders in the penalty box for roughing, so Michigan on a power play.
And this will be their third power play of the game. They are 0 for 2. In case you're just joining us, Michigan's goal comes from Bubba Berensweg, and it was a short-handed tally. Shot right on, and now we see the Michigan power play as they work it from the face-off. Mowers picks off the errant pass, and he is able to clear.
Mark Mowers was the best player up front, other than Mattil for UNH. He had some chances short-handed. He had the puck probably more than just about anybody else on UNH. He had a real good, solid first period.
Back behind the net, Michigan will look to set it up here. It's a 3-on-2 battle, Michigan advantage right through the top of the crease. McCall comes in late and now dumps it down low as they look to set up here. Herr is on as well for Michigan. Cross-ice pass, it's Pick Wayne. It's Mark Mowers. It's a 2-on-1, short-handed for UNH. Centering pass, unable to click. Derek Becker couldn't handle it. The pass was in his skates. Back the other way. Herr fires the shot, and it came off the end board. Michigan gets to it. They dump it down deep. One-time shot right on, and Mattil picks up right where he left off.
Well, that was a vaunted short-handed penalty-killing group for UNH in action there. And it was Mark Mowers who read the play coming out of the zone. That's what made all the difference on that last play. Michigan extremely lucky that nothing bad happened to them. This is Mowers. He anticipated the play, stole that one deep inside his own zone. This is a 2-on-1. This is what they thrive on. But there is excellent defensive work, though. Even though the puck got through, that was nice touch by Mowers. He put it through to the open spot on the ice, the only open spot that was available. But unfortunately, it didn't end up on his teammate's stick or in the net.
50 seconds left in the man advantage for Michigan. Wildcats get to it, and they come out ahead at center with Tom Nolan leading the way. Nolan on his backhand. He is checked, and he'll eat up some valuable time. And Michigan will regroup inside their own zone. Berensweg, the goal scorer, moves ahead to center. His pass is deflected. Michigan still has possession, and they throw cross-ice, just barely into the New Hampshire zone. And it's fired right back out by Jamie Filipowicz.
Well, I would think that UNH would gather a lot of confidence from that short-handed 2-on-1 situation that nearly got them a goal. That's their kind of hockey, and finally they were able to pull something off.
Christian Brignalo is back for it, and they're able to clear. The goal by Berensweg, Brian, they've changed the assist 3 different times. Now the assist is going to Rominski. Dale Rominski has the lone assist on the Berensweg goal. That shot from New Hampshire stopped by Marty Turco. An easy wall with no traffic. Comes back to center, and it's fired right back in. Power plays over. They've killed it off the 5-a-side.
I don't care who got the assist on the play from the standpoint that it was a shorthanded goal by Michigan, and by Berensweg, a defenseman jumping out of the hole. That was a real alert play, and he really finished it off.
Berensweg was just finished off himself. He was just flattened in the corner, but that does not prevent Michigan from coming out. Here come the Wolverines. Shot the toe save by Mathill there. And again, more good offensive opportunities for Michigan.
Well, we've got some Hobie Baker finalists in this game. That, of course, goes to the best player in NCAA college hockey. And a few of them are involved in this tournament. We've got a couple of guys that are in this game here tonight. And there are a lot of skilled guys. Krog, Mowers, and McCall. 2 UNH players, and Bill McCall. All really skilled guys. Krog's real nifty, fun guy to watch. And Mowers just a really good all-around player. He had a terrific first period, as I said, and McCall excellent as well. Other award finalists not in the tournament. There's the rest of your list, and we'll find out tomorrow who wins.
10 finalists for the award, the equivalent to the Heisman Trophy in football, the Hobie Baker Award in college hockey. And New Hampshire gets to it, just slap it out. Again, with 5 aside, able to kill off the early penalty. 1-0 Michigan. The winner of this game will get a crack at BC or Ohio State. They'll play in the nightcap, the other semifinal tonight here at the Fleet Center. 2-on-2 as they hit the line, and Andrew Merrick's backhand goes wide. New Hampshire able to pick up the puck. Steve O'Brien back for it. Getting some help from Johnny Rogers, but it's worked free. Michigan trying to break it for Bill Traynor as he was cruising the crease. Sean Austin has it for the Wildcats, and they fire out the center. New Hampshire, the only school of the Frozen Four with not a real power in either basketball or football. You're so familiar with the nicknames Ohio State and the Buckeyes and Michigan and Wolverines and, of course, Boston College Eagles, but you must have to stop and think if you're not a big college hockey fan. New Hampshire, they are the Wildcats, and, of course, Wildcats did pretty good in the college basketball NCAA final. Kentucky, of course, taking it all. As they battle for it back in the net, 2-on-2, and we'll get a face-off.
Well, there's been some good pounding in this game so far. Both teams really handing it out. Hunsiger on the receiving end of that one. We'll see a lot more of that as we go on.
Overcast day here in Boston, Massachusetts. One of the great hockey cities in the United States, and it really doesn't matter what level of hockey. They just love their pucks here in Beantown. Shot right on is sticked aside and off the end boards, and it comes back out to center. Van Ryn for it will fire right back in. UNH gets to it. Christian Brugnalo, good little first pass out of the zone on the stick of Dylan Delazay. Mowers couldn't control. Fired right back into the Michigan zone now. Van Ryn has there the freshman from London, Ontario. Inside, right, dangerously in front. Dan Enders able to get out of harm's way, but it leads to a turnover. Michigan trying to work it along the wall now.
Michigan's been able to carry the puck in, if not under complete control, then get it deep and get on top of it much better than UNH has. And there's the top gunslinger for the Michigan Wolverines. 32 goals, 65 points. He is one of the Hobie Baker finalists that we just pointed out. A terrific first half. Has been a little tired in the second half, according to his coach, Red Berenson. He's also good friends with the goaltender that he's shooting at, Sean Mathill. They're from the same hometown, Williams Lake, British Columbia, and they played against each other in the BC Junior League before they went to college. And they had a couple of laughs with reporters and through reporters, sort of communicating with each other through the writers yesterday. Good sense of humor by both these guys, both very talented young men.
I wonder who has the edge in that case, since the goalie and the shooter know each other so well. Who has the edge right here in front? Off the scramble in front, it pops up in the air and just wide of the net.
Well, I heard McCall talk about it. He claimed he filled them full of holes during junior, their days in junior, but I didn't hear Mathill's response to it, so I'm not sure.
3 sides to every story, right? The 2 sides and then the truth as well. Well, we've got golf for you, and it's more college action for you. It's the U.S. Collegiate Championships over on ESPN. That's coming up Saturday at 2 Eastern from St. Augustine, Florida. This is a 3-round, 54-hole tournament involving 12 of the leading college golf teams in the U.S.
And again, action down low by Michigan. Just good work coming out of the corner. A last-minute check there probably avoids a real good shot on net by Michigan. But Michigan has won a lot of those little battles along the corner, too. That's just good hard work, folks. Get the puck, work your way to the front of the net and see what happens.
Here's Filipowicz off to his defensive partner, Eric Lind. And New Hampshire will throw in. Played nearly 6 minutes in the second period. 1-0, Michigan maintaining their lead on a shorthanded Bubba Bereswag goal in the first period. They will try to fire it in, can't do so. Bounces out to center. We pointed out earlier, small neutral zone here in Boston as the puck is popped out of play and into the crowd. And they're probably used to that because of the old Boston Garden. They had that real small neutral zone as well.
Yeah. When the red line doesn't matter as far as two-line passes, it makes a big difference. It doesn't matter so much if the center neutral zone is smaller. Well, Red Berenson's club has had another terrific year. It seems year after year you always see Michigan going to the final tournaments and putting on a great show. Career record, Michigan 32-14, the .696 winning percentage. Boston College, you see the numbers for them, UNH and Ohio State, the 4 teams that made it here this year.
And they're just offside as they played around with it at the New Hampshire blue line. We mentioned the success of the nickname Wildcats. Of course, Kentucky in the NCAA basketball tournament. And here in New Hampshire, the Wildcats. We should point out congratulations to New Hampshire's women's hockey team, the Wildcats. They won the first ever NCAA women's hockey title. So congratulations to them. What a sweep that would be.
Oh, yeah.
If New Hampshire here can come through in the men's tournament. 5-on-5. Michigan continues to dominate, though. Certainly in terms of territory.
This is just good work along the boards again, and here they come with the puck.
Shot coming through, and Mattel able to make that stop as well. There's a player in the crease and a penalty coming up, a holding call, and it looks like it'll go against New Hampshire.
Well, that's a sure sign that you're hanging on, literally, and that's what UNH was doing in that last sequence. As I believe it was Langfeld coming in off the board, showing some really good upper body strength. O'Brien gets an arm on him. Here's Langfeld coming off the boards. Look at that. He just shoveled it to the front of the net. They want to get the puck there, and the penalty happened right there in behind the goaltender. You can see. There's Langfeld shoveling it to the front. He probably had his teammates yelling to him, just get it to the front, and there's the penalty right in the crease area. That player was nowhere near the puck. Steve O'Brien nailed for holding.
O'Brien the hold at 6:32. And Michigan will go to their 4th power play. They're 0 for their first 3 opportunities. And I'll tell you, give them too many more, they're going to score. New Hampshire looking to break shorthanded. Here's Derek Becker, knows what to do with the puck. Becker shot saved. Tucko, who looked behind him for a split second there. Some of the best opportunities in this hockey game have been shorthanded, like that one there from Derek Becker.
Michigan get a little bit sloppy. I think they're getting enough room down low where they're starting to take some chances, and if you miss or turn the puck over, Derek Becker is going to go. 5 shorthanded goals. He led the nation. And in the incredible speed of Mark Mowers jumping up on the play with Becker, turned it into a 2-on-1 situation. So the defenseman in the middle couldn't get a shot at Becker. That's why Becker's got that shot. You can see Mowers just came flying through. He was really hauling it through the neutral zone area. Here's Michigan with just a little bit sloppy down low. And there goes Becker. 5 shorthanded goals, folks. That one was on target.
Minute 30 left in the man advantage. Michigan with the power play. They look to break in. New Hampshire does a good job standing up. Frog gets to it, tries to slap it around. It's kept in at the point. Work free from Mike Van Ryn, the freshman working the point on the power play. Comes up for Bobby Hayes. Hayes dumps it back of the net there for Greg Crozier. And it looked like Hayes might have taken his eye off the puck as it hopped on him, and they clear the zone with them coming up on a minute left in the power play. Here is Hayes winding up. He's got some speed. He is hacked at, but continues to hang on to the puck. Hayes still has the puck now on the power play. Back to the point for Berensweg. Let's go and score! Did it go off someone in front or not? Might have gone straight through. And if it did, for Bubba Berensweg, his 2nd goal of the game. The first one shorthanded. That one on the power play. It's 2-0 Michigan.
Basic stuff on the power play here for Michigan. Good puck control down low. When they lose it and have to regroup, they get it right back in very quickly. They've dominated the boards and along the corners. And then Bubba Berensweg just with a basic shot on net. I don't think Mattil ever really saw this one. Here's Michigan, and this is what they've done. See how they control the puck, just stay with it, fighting guys off. It'll come back to the point. Here's Berensweg. Head down, he's just shooting it at the net, folks. But the traffic in front, there's the key. Look at Mattil. He had no idea where that one, the screen, is what that goal was all about.
Boy, if that was not touched in front, Brian, that had unbelievable rise to it.
Yeah, it's possible somebody can get a
fastball.
Yep.
We'll see how they score it. We've had some problems already with the scoring. They've changed the first just 3 times on the first goal already. And that was on Berensweg's shorthanded tally in the first. Either way, it's 2-0 Michigan. Let me go out on a limb. I think they're going wild in Ann Arbor right about now. They have an unbelievable fan base back home at Michigan. For now, they give the assist to Hayes, Bobby Hayes, on the Berensweg power play goal at 7:43. We'll see how New Hampshire responds. And it's been to respond. They respond with another goal. Even strength. It's Jeff Koch, the freshman, and it's 3-0 Michigan.
Michigan's really smelling blood here. This is a terrific play. They just do a little crisscross, and it momentarily freezes the UNH defenseman. Look, they're trying to crisscross there. One of them got hung up, but Koch on the back end, I think, caught Mattil a little bit off his angle. But Mattil seemed to slide a little bit too much to his left. Koch maintained his balance, shoveled the backhand, the most difficult shot for a goaltender to read. And I think when Mattil looked back and saw that one in the net, he was thinking, where am I in my net? I think I lost the angle. 5th goal of the season for Jeff Koch, but the key there was the crisscross and the inability of the UNH defenseman to sort it out quickly enough. Jeff Koch cashed in. 3-0 Michigan. They have UNH reeling.
It is significant for Koch in terms of the fact he is the only New Hampshire product, born and raised in New Hampshire, playing on the Michigan team, and he might have buried the place he comes from, New Hampshire, with that goal. 3-0 Michigan, and there you see a couple of goals in 43 seconds.
Oh, that's a sign of a tough team. I mean, if you know you have somebody down, you always do right after you score on them. UNH is down. Michigan has taken it to them.
Many people would tell you that Michigan was the favorite coming into this Frozen Four, but not their head coach.
I would hesitate to call Michigan the favorite. Yeah, we're not the favorite in this team. We're, you know, we might have more experience than the other teams, but I don't think we have as much talent and not as much depth, and not the offense, and not even the defense. So we're a team that is really in between. Now, if you ask me, is Michigan capable of winning this tournament? Definitely. Are we the favorite? No.
I guess that's a definite no. It's an interesting combination that they have. They have only 5 seniors and 9 freshmen, so yes, they do have experience in being competitive with those 5 seniors, but it's just an interesting combination with 9 freshmen that they've played an awful lot.
Boy, a 3-0 hole here for New Hampshire. And that one goes off the side of the net. The way this one has been played, it would be very difficult for the Wildcats to come back as we approach 11 minutes left to go here in the second. 3-0 Michigan, looking for 4. McCall was blocked. That one is deflected through, and it comes up from Mark Mowers. They need some offense out of Mowers. It's Koch from Clark at 8:26, an even strength goal. Michigan has scored every way possible. Shorthanded, power play, and even strength. And they get the 2 goals in a 43-second span.
Well, it's time for UNH to just get going out there. I think when you're down 3-0, you just have to sort of relax and play. It's like, guys, let's just go out there and play our game and see what happens, because there's still half the game to go. And with the talent that UNH has up front, they certainly are more than capable of coming back and getting themselves back into the hockey game. But first of all, they have to get some puck control and some momentum going for them.
New Hampshire has. First pass out of the zone is a good one. And a look at some offense from Jason Fry. He's the marked man out there, obviously, for New Hampshire. Michigan's done a great job every time on him. Tom Nolan also being marked a bit. He was marked a little too hard there because he was taken down. And that'll result in a Michigan penalty and a New Hampshire power play at a real crucial time in the game.
I think it's Bubba Berensweg who ended up getting the penalty for Michigan. So UNH really needs to get some momentum going, because they got to get themselves on the scoreboard in a hurry. Bubba Berensweg in a penalty box as he hauled down Tom Nolan on the last play, and Nolan wasn't too happy about it. The frustration level, I think, starting to show for UNH. I don't know if he knew there was a penalty. Gave a pretty good shot to Berensweg. Boom. Nothing called there, so still a power play here for UNH.
And here we go. As they look to get back in the hockey game. There's Mowers. They come back to the point. Tried to give it back to Mowers, and he was checked, but now he has possession of it there. Just kept in by Filipowicz, the quarterback on his power play. Remember, they've already been burned once for a shorthanded goal by Michigan. Of course, Behrensweg scored it, and he's now in the penalty box. Mowers for Krog. Shot blocked by the defense. Michigan able to clear. 90 seconds left in a man advantage.
And again, this is the top 4 forwards for UNH out there, along with Filipowicz, the only defenseman that plays on this power play. And these guys are under a lot of pressure. There's a lot of fans here, and when you're at home and your power play isn't working and you're down on the scoreboard, you start to hear the bluebirds and you get a little uptight. And you're seeing some of that right now, and you're hearing some of it from the fans. And you can see the dejected look from Becker. He's one of their top guys. He's got to be able to handle the puck and make plays, and it's difficult for anybody at any age. And these guys are still learning as they go along. Dick Umil trying to get them to settle down, focus their attention, and get the plays done that they want.
This game, from a New Hampshire perspective, not necessarily over. We advise you that New Hampshire set an East Regional record. They were down 3-1 and came back to defeat Wisconsin 7-4 on Saturday. No team in the East Regional ever come back from 2 goals down to win. But a bit of a tougher test here against Michigan, and down 3 here in the second period. Here's Krog out of the corner. Back to the point. Filipowicz shot. Through a screen, went wide of the net. Might get another crack. Filipowicz throws it towards the front of the net. It's broken up. Good reach by Filipowicz to keep it in, but he won't be able to hold the zone there, and they're forced back to center.
Good pressure by Michigan. They read the play extremely well. They got on Krog when he didn't have control. Clark did a really good job there against Krog.
Michigan short-handed. And the play is broken up, and Mowers looks to come out ahead at center. Here's Mowers. Drop pass for Nolan. Nolan makes the move. Backhand pass is broken up by Andrew Merritt.
What's going to be a key here long term, if there are a lot of penalties, Steve, is those 4 forwards for UNH stay out almost the entire time. They stayed out for 1 minute and 40 seconds of the 2-minute penalty. They did that in the first couple of power plays as well, too. They go with that group as well as they can because there's a big drop-off from their first power play unit to their second power play unit. And if they have to play a lot of hockey tonight, they're going to be darn tired by the midway through the third period.
Ragnalo fires in. Marty Turco sticks aside. I haven't mentioned Turco's name in quite some time. He's only faced 6 shots in the game. Here's Behrensweg. He's out of the box. Even strength shot. Oh, glove save by Sean Mattel. And that might have been hockey game right there. He makes the glove stop to keep New Hampshire from being down 4. They're down 3 here in the second.
Bubba Behrensweg with the last shot on net. He's been everywhere tonight here, folks. Holds onto the net, puck really well, and just risks one at the net. Sean Mattil had to make a solid save.
Face-off won by Michigan, and they got a great scoring opportunity, but it was blocked at the defense, and it's sent back down. And it will be icing, the no-touch icing there, and that's something that many people feel will be coming to the NHL one day. Good way to avoid some risk of injury, although fans of it like to see the race and the chance for a hustle play.
There's a shots on goal, 22-6. Marty Turco has not been a very busy man. He hasn't had to me. He made 1 or 2 really good saves fairly early on in the first period. And Sean Mattil has been tested severely. And Michigan continues to carry the play to UNH. Carrying the puck into the zone, still the key. The UNH defenders, not just the defensemen, but as a group, the 5 men in blue, haven't been able to get it together, take the puck off the stick, and ride the man with the Michigan player, that is, with the puck out of play.
We were not kidding when we said how explosive offensively New Hampshire is. They came in ranked 4th in the nation in scoring. They score, and they defend pretty well as well, ranked 7th in the nation, but they need some of that explosive scoring, and they need it soon.
Well, a team that's as deep offensively as they are has the capabilities of turning it on very quickly, and I think Michigan is well aware of that, but they need a chink in the armor, and they can't find a chink in the armor for Michigan right now.
Good! Caromed off the glass and back out to center. Steve Levy, Brian Engblom, the Fleet Center in Boston. This is the NCAA hockey semifinals. The winner of this one advances on to play the winner of tonight's game between Boston College and Ohio State Saturday night, right back here at the Fleet. And you'll see that game on ESPN for the national championship. Michigan fires out ahead to center. they look to make the move. Set up well. What a move in front. Shot just to the crease. Great opportunity by Mark Kosick there on the nifty one-on-one move. Here's McCall back of the net. A 16 on a 16. McCall trying to work free. Unable to do so. And instead, it's Dan Enders out ahead for New Hampshire. He fires in. They'll go for a change.
New Hampshire getting the puck out of the zone, but they had some tired guys out there. Michigan again having them hemmed in. As soon as New Hampshire got a chance to carry the puck off the ice, they ended up just dumping it and were satisfied to get a line change. Michigan again continues to control this game by controlling the puck and have UNH back on their heels and not able to establish their game plan yet at all.
Sean Austin fires in. Just looking for any signs of offense out of New Hampshire. And it's poked out ahead to center. And inside the New Hampshire zone, they wave off the icing as both clubs head for changes.
Well, it's a careful play of Michigan, careful play with the puck, because UNH is a transition team. They feast on turnovers, blind passes, improper plays with the puck, and Michigan just hasn't given them those plays.
Here's an opportunity, rare offensive opportunity by Derek Becker as he walked around Bubbenswag. And they get the whistle in the corner, 5:23 to go. It gives us an opportunity to tell you about our Nike storyline. As you see what the Wildcats are up against, no number 5 seed has ever won the NCAA championship. How about Berensweg? 2 goals, a power play, and a shorty as well.
And our Nike storyline replay are the 2 goals that we've seen in this period. Berensweg at the point. This is the second goal. He just rips it at the net. It's a screenshot and ends up in. And then Koch driving wide on the backhand gets Mathill a little bit off his angles. 3-0 Michigan.
They work it free to the point. Filipowicz and his partner Lind on the ice there, trying to get some offense from the defense. Wow, hard hit, and you can really get a good sense with the audio there from our microphones on the ice. Some of the contact going down the ice, but another hard hit thrown there by New Hampshire. They're picking up the hitting, Brian. They're picking up the scoring and the scoring opportunities.
Well, a lot of times the best way to get yourselves into the game, especially if you're not able to control the puck, which New Hampshire would like to do, then you've got to start laying the body on, trying to loosen Michigan up a little bit and get themselves going physically.
Here's Berensweg. Wow, he is upended and thrown hard into the end boards. The defenseman on the offensive again. Back the other way. Here's Tom Nolan. Makes the move. Has Krog in front of the net and couldn't get it to him. Dave Hunsaker, good defensive play. As we approach 4.5 to go. There in the second. 3-zip Michigan. Filipowicz. He's crunched. He paid the price to make the play. And Hunsaker back the other way. He is checked and he throws him. And as I said earlier, one of the great things in college hockey, everyone hits. Everyone plays the body. And we're seeing
Jamie Filipowicz with a big hit on Bubba Berensweg, who's been everywhere, but Filipowicz is lucky he doesn't get a penalty. He kicked the leg out from underneath the Berensweg, and here's how it sounds. That one hurt.
It sounded painful. Shot from the point, right on, and Turco the stop there off the big blast from the point. We haven't had to call Marty Turco's name often, but he's been there when they've needed him.
And this is one of the very few times that UNH has got anything going off the faceoffs. Michigan's been really solid in that area, especially inside their own zone, but this is a clean draw, won by UNH. They get it back to the point, and they're able to just blast it on net. Christian Bragnallo, season opening, drills it, but there's nobody in front. You can see nobody else in the blue jersey getting in front of Turco for a screen.
Pretty good bomb by Bragnallo there. Looks like a kid can shoot the puck hard. For whatever it's worth, just the 7th shot on goal by New Hampshire here in the game, and we're 4 minutes away from the second intermission. It's like one of the Michigan players is going off slowly.
Yeah, that was Fox. I think he got drilled behind his own net. He got up and went immediately to his own bench.
New Hampshire trying to center. Work free. Michigan gets to it. They come out ahead of center. Broken up and fired right back in, or sort of fired right back in by New Hampshire and Eric Johnson. Andrew Merrick throws out ahead to center. Back the other way for Sean Austin for New Hampshire. Austin gets it back, crosses the red line, and fires in. Turco will stop it there. There's 3.5 to go.
Turco's done a good job of coming out when he's needed to and be that third defenseman out there, move the puck well.
Maurer is up the giveaway, and the shot was blocked at the defense. Hunsaker, the nice play to go down. Dave Hunsaker, freshman out of Ann Arbor, Michigan. Boy, I think all the pressure growing up there and playing for the team in Ann Arbor, and it makes a good defensive play there. Merrick dumps in softly. Wolverines will go for a change.
Hunsaker has played a very strong game here. He's blocked some shots. There have been quite a few shots, least attempted, certainly some of them very effective by the Michigan defenseman.
Here's UNH trying to split the defense. Unable to do so. Michigan gets to it. And they battle for it up against the wall, and finally Michigan able to work it free. 3-on-3 at center. Here's McCall trying to make the move. Spins away from the check, but he put himself down as well. And Austin gets to it. He's tied up, but just able to nudge it across the line. Delayed offside. No need for it anymore. Here's Mowers. Mark Mowers. Centering pass. Broken up by McCall. He's all over the ice, making the good play.
That was good back checking. McCall's done that a couple of times here. The first time, I remember, back in the second period, did a great job with the body there with just positioning.
Here's an opportunity. Shot save! Turco, best stop of the game! Marty Turco called on there to stop Tom Nolan off the 2-on-1 down low.
One of the few times in this game we've seen the turnover team of New Hampshire really at work. Nolan had a terrific chance. He made a big shot on Turco, and Turco was magnificent. Heel stretched out left leg a long way. There's the turnover in the neutral zone. The quick play at the mini 2-on-1 from the blue line in. A shot right off the pass. Did you see that left leg? Airborne. He literally booted that one out of the air. Watch Turco's left leg. It's got to be a foot and a half off the ice. That's a great save. And then he got it with the glove as well. That was an excellent shot by Nolan. And some firepower there from UNH. Comes away empty-handed.
What an opportunity there. Well, we should give credit to Chad, owner of Freychuk, who made the great pass to Nolan to set up a 2-on-1 down low. Again, Turco's been great. You're going to look at the numbers and see why he's only faced 8 shots. Big deal. He's been great when he's had to be.
And it's tough to make saves like that when you're not really in the game. And he's relatively cold looking at those number of shots that he's faced. So it takes a lot of mental concentration. But he's a senior. And he's won 125 times before, more than any other college goaltender in NCAA history, and he's showing why.
And it's really not even close. He's blown away Steve Shields' record, of course, also played at Michigan. And he's blown it away. He shattered the record. Shields now in a tough spot as the backup to Dominic Hasek in Buffalo. Prague trying to get some offense going. They've really keyed on Prague, I think, and have shut him down offensively. One of the biggest offensive forces for New Hampshire.
Yeah, they pounded him whenever they've had a chance, too. And that's always the key to any good puck handler, playmaker on the opposition. Every time he gets the puck, if he does dish it off, you got to finish him off.
Final minute to play here in the second period. Here's Mowers trying to get something to go. Mowers, Mowers, best shot! Shattered by Turco. He did it again. Another 2-on-1 developing down low, and Marty Turco, 2 dandy saves within a couple of minutes.
That is incredible. We talked the fact that he hasn't had very many shots in this game. Only 9 saves today. This is another incredible one. UNH is starting to make things happening now. That was Mowers going wide with the puck. He's been a going concern for UNH. Even the goal judge thought that one was in for a second. There's Mowers protecting the puck, getting it across any way he can. The one-time shot from Delazé, and the disgust from the UNH player, Delazé. He knows he had a chance. Still a big goose egg on the board for his team.
Boy, I wonder what Red Berenson is thinking now. He's got to be disappointed in his boys. Maybe they've let up just a bit, maybe feeling a bit too comfortable with a 3-0 lead. And this could easily be a 3-2 hockey game in a matter of just a couple of minutes.
Yep, you're right.
As Michigan looks to break now 2-on-1. They're set up, and a shot there by Mattil.
Oh, that was dangerous. Mattil got facing the wrong way for a second there and didn't have control of the puck. Michigan nearly jammed that one under him. 2
great stops there by Marty Turco.
Well,
what a game.
Those are backbreakers, too. It really takes a lot of steam out of UNH.
They battle for it the final 30 seconds now. Punch behind the net. Wolverines look to center. They do. Shot saved by Mattil. What a goaltending display we're seeing here in the final few minutes of the second period. Final 5 seconds now.
That's a terrific second period of hockey. Michigan still in control, but Mattil with a huge save at the end for his club, still trying to keep them in the hunt. Some goal-scoring chances for each team. UNH, I admire their ability to create chances when they're down, But here's the play to Mattil. Traffic in front. He gets turned around. The puck is dangerously in his feet, but he's able to keep it out of the net. Then the last save, good quick turnaround move. Michigan continues to just stuff it towards Mattil. Traffic down low in front of him. That was a huge left leg save. If that one goes in 4-0, it's way out of reach. UNH still has a chance.
Well, the goaltending has been brilliant. The goaltenders have been probably even through two. Except the scorers have it. Michigan a 3-0 lead. The ESPN News Network now. Found the place. Boston, Massachusetts, the Fleet Center. Michigan a 3-0 lead over New Hampshire as we get set to start the third. Of course, the winner with a shot at the championship game here Saturday night. Steve Levy along with Brian Engblom. It's a 3-0 hockey game, but in the final few minutes of that second period, we very nearly had a one-goal hockey game.
Yeah, I really admire both these teams. UNH has really come back and created something offensively, which they certainly had to do, but it's still Michigan's game so far. They've done just a terrific job of controlling the puck, and I think if it continues on, it's going to be the end for UNH. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, no quitting either team. We documented New Hampshire's most recent victory when they were down 3-1, and they've got a tough test here.
Well, this is Koch coming in and scoring the third goal for Michigan. He catches Mattil a little bit out of position. That made it 3-0. And then it was Marty Turco with some great work. Couple of quick 2-on-1s. The first one against Nolan just robs him. And second one, Dylan Delaze. It looks like exactly the same play, but it wasn't the same play. Marty Turco has been absolutely terrific in this second period, and he's maintained a 3-0 lead.
Speaking of Turco, after a February '95 loss, 84 games have passed since then when Turco's had a lead going into the third, and he has yet to lose.
Marty Turco, I think, is a good example of our program and where it's been the last 4 years. He's been in the right place at the right time, not only when he stops the puck, but just in the fact that he's been with a good team for 4 years. And I think that's one of the reasons that he's walking away with an all-time wins record for NCAA goalies.
And there's a look at Marty Turco, and that is a sense of the Michigan goaltenders. It was said about Steve Shields. It's been said about Turco. Hey, it's the system. It's not necessarily the goaltending. Well, I think it was the goaltending there late in that second period.
Well, there's no doubt about that. And it's true. Red Berenson was correct. Obviously, he coached the teams. There were some very talent-laden teams that Turco was able to play behind. But let's also remember that this year, with 9 freshmen on this club, this team has 16 one-goal victories. And that has a lot to do with goaltending, folks. I don't care how good the team is in front of you. That guy has to shut the door, and Turco's done it.
Some numbers from the first 2 periods now. And there you see the face-offs. Well, we knew Michigan was dominating there, Brian, and then obviously shots on goal and scoring chances.
Yeah, I mean, it really is indicative of exactly how the game has gone. But the one that doesn't show up there, what really is the biggest difference in this game is that Michigan has controlled the puck, and they have not thrown it away. And that's what makes all the difference. It's led to those 25 shots on goal and the inability of UNH to get shots on goal. Only 9 for a high-powered club that's pretty deep up front. They just haven't had the puck.
We mentioned UNH, and they do have comeback ability. And if they're going to get some people and some offense, these are the guys they look to. And they've been pretty much held in check, and Michigan's done a good job against these key guys.
Yeah. I had a real good conversation with Mowers yesterday. Really interesting kid. Very intelligent. He knows what the score is. He's been very effective, probably the most effective player for UNH through the first 2 periods. Becker and Krog have had some chances. They haven't had the puck probably as much as they would like to, but Mowers, I think, has had the puck the most out of all of them. There's a good look at Mowers right there. He's certainly not going to give up. He's got no give up in him at all.
You saw the numbers on Marty Turco, 22-0 we showed you earlier when having a lead going into the third. Just want to reiterate what I said earlier. Since a 5-4 loss to Illinois Chicago, which was back on February 11th of '95, and it's worth repeating because it's so hard to believe, Turco is 84-0. 84-0-0 when leading after 2 periods of play. So that's what those 3 offensive-minded New Hampshire players are up against. Not even a tie in there, Brian.
That's incredible. So UNH forwards have their work cut out for them, down 3-0 to start this third.
And again, the numbers that are going to be flashed around the country, people are going to say New Hampshire had 9 shots on goal in the first 2 periods of play. Well, I can tell you, 2 of the shots and offensive chances were brilliant Marty Turco saves, and that has kept this one in a 3-0 lead for Michigan and a commanding lead it is. This could very easily be a one-goal game if not for Turco and heroics. Keep in mind, we've got the nightcap, the other semifinal game coming up tonight here on ESPN2. Ohio State and Boston College. Winner of that one plays the winner of this one Saturday night here at the Fleet Center in Boston, and you'll see the championship game over on ESPN.
Well, UNH is going to go with their lead horses. They have to. Down by 3 goals. Cross, Becker, and Mowers are going to get even more ice time. The thing they have working for them is the TV timeouts. I don't think they normally have as many timeouts or as much time to rest in between shifts as they have had in this game, and that'll really benefit those 3 or 4 top forwards. Nolan's in that mix as well.
Michigan trying to come away. And they do. Move it out ahead at center. They fire inside the zone, although not deep. And New Hampshire fires it right back out.
I'm sure Red Berenson, talking to his troops in that second intermission, would be talking about being smart, being careful. Do all the things that you've done in the first 2 periods. Don't get careless with the puck, because that spells death against this UNH forward club. And Michigan has done so well. They've controlled the puck, have not thrown it away, and he almost completely eliminated the transition game, except for those couple of late second period surges, those quick 2-on-1s from the blue line in that some of the top UNH goals have.
At center, Krog couldn't handle the pass. It was behind him, and Michigan will throw right back in. Centering pass. Only player there is Jamie Filipowicz for New Hampshire. Throws it up along the wall, and New Hampshire will throw in. Michigan wanted an icing call, was waved off, and the Wolverines come out, led by Bubba Berensweg. He's got 2 of the 3 Michigan goals. A shorty and a power play goal. That kid just can't score at even strength, right? Back behind the net now. New Hampshire gets to it. Sean Austin up along the wall there for Mike Souza. And it's fired across on the stick of Jason Shapolsky. They throw in. Mike Van Ryn is back towards the freshman. Up for Bill Trader, speaking of freshmen. And it's right back inside the Michigan zone. Steve Levy, Brian Engblom. This is the Fleet Center in Boston, Massachusetts. Game 1 of the NCAA hockey semifinals. And Michigan is 17:07 away from a trip to the final game in a game for the national championship. We mentioned New Hampshire's comeback against Wisconsin set an East Regional record by coming back from 2 goals. They were down 3-1 against Wisconsin. Make it 3-2. Hey, make it 3-3. And New Hampshire would come all the way back on this goal right here. That made it 4-3. They went on to win 7-4. So they have, as we call it, comeback ability. And they'll need some of that here in the 3rd period. But 16:58 to go. 3rd period. Michigan, a commanding 3-0 lead.
This play will pretty much epitomize how things have gone for Michigan in this game. You'll see a stick go baton-like up into the air, flips over 3 or 4 times, bounces 1 time, and you catch it on the fly and just keep moving. Michigan hasn't missed a beat in 2 periods.
They got the puck bouncing their way and the stick bouncing their way as well. Here the Wolverines try to come out at center, glance off the glass, and it's back out at center. Now it's fired right back into the Michigan zone. Berensweg will lead the rush and come out at center. Little drop pass. McCall recovers. And Bill McCall has the puck. He is checked. Centering pass. And it looked like it was deflected nearly in off a New Hampshire stick. Berensweg lets it go. You know he's thinking hat trick. That's what the defenseman is thinking right there. That shot, another shot, big pad save off what sounded like a heavy shot. And Sean Mathill able to make the stop. We'll let you know when UNH breaks into double digits in shots on goal. They have yet to do it. 16 minutes to play here in the 3rd. And there it is right there. 10th shot of the game. And again, Turco had to be ready. He made the stop.
And Becker was right on the doorstep. He's one of their best goal scorers, but the rebound came out past him just a little too quickly. He couldn't get the stick on it. Again, it was Mark Maurer shooting the puck. He has done by far the best job up front for UNH.
Well, every time Frog touches the puck, he is finished. And Brian not only is finished him, they still hold him up against the board for a couple extra seconds, really eliminating him from the play. And there he is there, 28 in blue. Shot right on! And that's one of the reasons to eliminate that guy. What a great opportunity and another good stop from Marty Turco. Well, ESPN, The award-winning Outside the Line show presented by AT&T continues on with another, I'm sure, an award winner. Tonight, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, over on ESPN, Bob Lee investigates the troubling issue of major athletic footwear companies and their manufacturing practices abroad. Made in Vietnam, the American sneaker controversy. Outside the Lines, always a good watch on ESPN. Michigan gets to it. They'll fire in, delayed offside, and wiped out. They were able to clear the zone.
Well, we're going to see a lot of situations where UNH is going to have to come to full 200 feet. Michigan's a smart hockey club. If they don't have a chance to carry the puck in open ice, they're going to get it deep, make UNH go all the way back to their end boards and carry it all the way up. Protect that 3-0 lead and use up the clock as much as they can.
O'Brien spinning away from a check. Tried to hit Nolan, couldn't handle. And wow, look at this. Looks like one of the alternate referees has the stick caught in his skate blade. He's seen some wild stuff with sticks here in the third period.
Yeah, that was Tom Nolan. Had a little collision with one of the officials, and he ended up stuck in the skate blade, the little space, which is pretty small, mind you, in between the skate blade and the stick. You can hardly see the official. There he is. And Nolan was reaching. Whoops, there it is. Looks like a bow and arrow. Stuck right through there.
And it looked like the official and the players had a good laugh. Of course, when it's at the official's expense, it's funny. And everybody's okay. We're back to play. 15 minutes to go here in the third. 3-0 Michigan. New Hampshire shown some good spark and no quit here early on in the third. Turco swinging around. Neither player could get to it, so it caroms helplessly out to center. Right back into the Michigan zone. Hunsicker is back for it. And Michigan again. Now finally able to just work it free. Let's see if they can make an offensive play out of it. They can. Ball had an opportunity with Jeff Koch all alone in front of the net. And now a couple of New Hampshire players go after Koch as Mattil made the stop. Well, we told you Dick Umile is in his 8th year. He is a former player and a standout player at New Hampshire. He was an assistant coach brought in by then head coach Bob Cullen, who sadly passed away in 1991, and Dick took his coaching staff this past Wednesday, actually yesterday, to the grave of Bob Cullen and cleaned it off and took care of things, maybe said a thing or two, and hope for some results here today. As his team, they've played well, but they are down 3-0, and time's starting to become a factor.
Oh, it's great when people have a connection with the past. It's a lot to do with what college athletics is all about. I like hearing stories like that.
Cross-ice pass off the face-off, won by Michigan. Michigan continues to dominate on the draws. Andrew Merrick is rammed hard into the boards, and that allows New Hampshire to come out. With Mowers, he'll throw in. Turco won't even let it go to the corner. He'll stick it aside, but Mowers holds his own. And Turco, you see the good mobility getting back into the net and able to make that stop along the ice. Mowers there again. Little contact behind the net, and then Mowers swung his stick around, and that sent one of the New Hampshire players flying, and looks like he was trying to draw a penalty. Here's Merrick. Oh, the feed in front. Nearly went home off the New Hampshire stick, but it was poked wide.
Gragnello did a good job of poking that one wide. A very quick 2-on-1. It's a nice touch pass from the wing right to the edge of the crease. Gragnello read it and deflected it just wide of his own net.
At center. Here's Berensway trying to make the move inside the zone. Michigan gets to it. Matt Hurd set up. Centering pass off the shot from Justin Clark. And Mattil able to make that stop as well.
Well, of all the UNH players we've called tonight, Mark Mowers, we probably said his name more than any. You can see he wears the captain's C. He's a Hobie Baker finalist, great skater, excellent all-around player. Dick Umile said of him, he's brought the program back to great tradition. And that's quite something to say about anybody. Senior, it's a marquee free agent this year. It's going to be interesting to see what the future holds for this extremely impressive young man, both on the ice and off.
He, of course, scored the game-winning goal, a shorthanded game winner in overtime that beat Boston University. A lot of people were feeling that Boston University would be here, maybe a BU-BC final. Not the case, thanks to Mowers and that game-winning shorthanded overtime goal against BU. Earlier, we spoke to his head coach about his captain.
I think Mark Mowers, along with Tommy Nolan, the two seniors, they kind of typify what the program's gone through. They were two of the players, along with a couple of players from last year's class, that finally brought us to the elite players in recent time, anyways. Brought UNH hockey back to where it was.
Yeah, Tommy Nolan's the other guy that he mentions there. These are two terrific young men, seniors at their school, and they're fighting for their lives here in this game. They're still down 3-0 in the third.
Again for New Hampshire, as Mattil will make the stop there. New Hampshire, this is their first time. You don't want to get the sense that, hey, you're just happy to be here in the Frozen Four, but it is their first time here since the NCAA tournament expanded to 12 teams back in '88. They've been to the NCAA tournament 4 times in the last 7 seasons, but not to the Frozen Four. And there's a look at Tom Nolan, and he actually didn't have a sophomore year because he had a spleen injury. So this is actually the 5th year that he's been around. He's real quick out there. He's had his share of offensive chances out there, but hasn't been able to capitalize yet. Pounded off the glass. Good play by Michigan to keep in. Well, they couldn't that time. Delayed offside. Turnover in the neutral zone. Michigan will fire right back in. Well, the pace of the game has slowed down here a little bit, and Michigan, I think, is letting that happen. And I think just because of the fact that the UNH is still trying to get their game in gear puck control-wise and haven't been able to do that, it's played into Michigan's hand, and right now Michigan seems to want to let it just cool down a little. Comes up on the point, Turco. The easy stop, easy because there was no one in front of the net. His defense did a good job of clearing traffic as they've done all game. Boy, Turco looks confident, doesn't he, Bry? He's out covering the angles, playing the puck so well, side of the net and behind the net as well. Yeah, he's a very aggressive guy. He hasn't had to be aggressive in his crease because there hasn't been that many shots against him. He has stepped out and played the puck extremely well when he's needed to, but again, a lot of sustained pressure by UNH here. He hasn't really needed to get as involved as I'm sure he has been in a lot of other games lately. Here's Mowers now at center, trying to make the move. He's 1-on-2. He was put down, and as Merrick took the puck, a penalty is coming up. Looks like a cross-checking penalty will go against Michigan. New Hampshire, maybe their last chance to get in this game. All is quiet and calm on the Charles River in Boston. Of course, inside the Fleet Center in Boston, not so calm and quiet. And Greg Crozier will be spending the next 2 minutes here in Boston in the penalty box. That was the cross-check he just laid out. So a power play chance for UNH. You hear the name Crozier, you hear the name Merrick, you think of NHL bloodlines, and there's plenty of it in this hockey game. Here's Mowers. He'll fire in. Again, maybe New Hampshire's last opportunity. They need 3 to tie. And then they'll go from there, but you got to get the first one, and maybe the floodgates will open after that. Nolan's hacked out. You can hear the hacking on the ice, courtesy of the stick of Hunsaker. Nolan back to the net, finds Mowers. Filipowicz has wristed towards the front of the net, and the stop there by Turco. UNH moving the puck around pretty effectively. They got it back to the point right away to Filipowicz, and he wanted to get it right back to the front of the net. Try to get that box moving from down low out to the point and then back down in front of the net so guys like Becker can get their sticks on it, or a Mowers can get in there and handle rebounds. These guys are both really quick with sticks and rebounds, and they're able to capitalize normally. Haven't been able to here tonight so far. Krog will take this draw. Wins the face-off, but Michigan got some help. As a minute 15 left the power play. Here's Nolan now trying to set it up. Off for Filipowicz. Dumps it down low. Mowers throws the check, but can't get possession of the puck. And Michigan's able to clear. Coming up on a minute left in the power play. Not a lot of momentum here on this power play. If you're stuck inside the zone, or not stuck really, but if you're controlling the puck in the offensive zone, which UNH was at first, then you don't need to have that speed. But when they go back for it, they just look like they're starting to sag a little bit. And the frustration level starting to kick in. And with only 10 minutes to go here in this third period and still down by 3 goals, their top players, they're going to have to come through with a little bit of energy on their bench and make something happen on the ice, too, or this UNH team is going to sag that hard comeback. Lean trying to force the play on the power play, rushing it from his point position. Filipowicz comes in to make the play and hold the zone. This is Lynn. He'll dump it down deep. Nolan is there. Michigan has it. And finally in the clear. 10 seconds left in the power play. Wolverines go for a change, and that'll just about do it and kill off the power play as we pass the midway point of this hockey game. 5-on-5. As Michigan now half a period away from a national championship game. Here's a break. The other way shot. Save Mathill, and he stopped the rebound as well. Sean Mathill forever keeping New Hampshire in the hockey game. Back the other way.
Terrific saves there by Sean Mathill. Those are really tough shots. The rebound, he's still giving them every chance to try and get back in this thing.
It's fired right back in. And Christian Brugnalo is backcourt, takes the hit, made the play as he paid the price, and the puck is sent into the bench. Milwaukee last year was the site. Boston this year, the site. Of course, Anaheim next year, the site. The NCAA Hockey Championship.
Sean Mathill has made some great saves in this hockey game. This was one of them. A quick, high-rising shot, cut him off almost in the neck, it looked like. He didn't give up on the play, scrambling around, getting some help from his defenders in front. Still 3-0 Michigan.
Should they lose, and this game is not over, I don't think anybody can blame Sean Mathill on any of the 3 goals. I think he's been brilliant.
Yeah, he's been outstanding.
In what apparently will come in a losing effort. Oh, nifty little play there. New Hampshire, the shot, the big blocker saved by Turco off the shot from Rob Gagnon. Backcourt, Dave Hunsaker. Boy, he has been impressive. I'll tell you what, the whole Michigan defense has been impressive. And here they come, 3-on-2 again. Helmet came off, and as you'll see, immediately the player who loses the helmet has to go to the bench or else be assessed his own penalty. They don't get the player who knocked your helmet off. They get you for not wearing it. Here's Mowers now at center. Nifty little move, finds himself some ice.
Yeah, they're really strict about that. That's true. If the helmet comes off, if you can't put it back on, you've got to get off the ice right away.
That's a good rule.
Yep.
Set into the corner. Under 8 to go. Kept into the point. Mauer's shot is blocked. Michigan looking to break. Here come the Wolverines now.
Well, Brugnalo with some great back-checking there, but I don't know if he's carried this too far. No, I guess it's maybe just a hand pass, and they're going to whistle it outside. But Brugnalo was taking a couple of liberties, a little bit extra, if you will, against Kosick, who was down on the ice. But Brugnalo with some good back-checking. The turnover inside the zone just whacks the stick out of the hand of Mark Kosick, and there's the extra shot that I was talking about, but nothing was damaging enough, so it was just called for a hand pass, and we'll have a face-off outside the UNH blue line.
Again, winner of this game here will get a shot at the national championship on Saturday night. Remember, the other semifinal comes your way tonight at 8 Eastern right here on ESPN2. We'll leave you for a few hours and then be right back here at the Fleet. You know this place will be rocking when Boston College is home here in Boston. They'll take on Ohio State in our second semifinal game. Winner advances on to the winner of this one Saturday night, 7:30 over on ESPN for the national title.
That's a great couple of days here. The excitement level is incredible. All these players and everybody connected with the teams are just ecstatic. You can tell the feeling of electricity in behind the scenes. Yesterday, even when they all skated, we came down and watched and talked to a lot of players and people connected with it. It's just a terrific tournament. Everybody just so happy to be here. You can tell it just oozes out of their pores.
Just good attitudes all around. Flipped in on Mathill, and they'll leave it for his defense. The other thing is, you look at the faces, Brian, and say, God, these guys are so young. And you think, you know what? They are young. They're college hockey players. Right. They all got the baby faces working.
There's another one-on-one situation, again proving that UNH can't carry the puck into the zone. Just really good, solid work by the Michigan defenseman.
Good example, Lynn there, the defenseman gambling a bit, trying to force the play, and he wasn't burned on at that point. But at 6:34 to go in the third, UNH needs offense. They're not down 1 or 2, they're down 3.
They're getting some areas to skate, but nothing in the critical areas. Coming up the ice, they get some momentum going, but as soon as they get anywhere near the scoring zone in Michigan's end, Michigan forces them to the outside, and Mark Mowers and his teammates have just had really a lot of trouble penetrating. They were able to get some good scoring chances late in the second period, quick 2-on-1s and quick turnovers, and that's their specialty again, but they haven't been able to do that on a regular basis here tonight with Michigan's really good positional play.
Fox is back for it, has possession for Michigan. They've been pretty smart here in the third period as we come up on 6.5 to play in regulation. Steve Levy, Brian Engblom, game one, the national semifinals from Boston. Glad you could take some time, whether you took some time off or you're taking some time at the office on a Thursday afternoon on ESPN2.
Here again, you're seeing UNH having to go all the way back in their zone. It's that 200 feet. It's eating up extremely valuable time here. And you can see it's taken away from the legs of the UNH forwards as well, too. Have to come all the way back. I think you're going to try and see more long passes from the UNH defensemen up to their forwards because the red line doesn't exist in college hockey. They don't have to come back as far. They're going to have to try and use some long passes. But again, the positional play of the Michigan Wolverines has negated several of those opportunities.
At center, here's Filipowicz, the offensive defenseman, and they need some offense from him. Fires in looking for the carom, but it caroms to Michigan. Giveaway. Turnover. Let's see what New Hampshire can do with it. They hold the zone. O'Brien momentarily, and then takes his man down, and the crowd wanted a call, and won't get one.
Yeah, a lot of people thought that could have been an interference call. Well, I guess the referee interpreted that he did get one shot at him. The guy did touch the puck. There was a little bit of,
I thought it was
a little bit of a stick between the legs. I don't know. You'd almost have to look at it in replay. And, of course, the referee doesn't get a chance to look at it in replay. He let it go.
Here's New Hampshire trying to make the move inside the zone. Delazay couldn't handle. They come across now for Bregnalo. Throws in, and Berensweg is back for it there. Berensweg is checked. And comes away with the puck. And we get a whistle for the puck touched above the shoulder with a high stick. Actually, a penalty call is coming up against New Hampshire.
Red Berenson and his coaching staff just had a little powwow with his power play guys. They're ahead 3-0 in this game. You can bet the first thing that was mentioned is be careful with the puck, reminding them that UNH has 15 shorthanded goals. And right now, that would be a huge morale booster for them if they could pull one off here as they're still down by 3.
Nolan is in the box for high sticking at 15:27. Fifth power play opportunity now for Michigan. They are 0 for 4, actually 1 for 4 on the power play. Berensweg's second goal was a power play goal. Here's Michigan with speed. Wow, hard hit thrown there by Christian Bregnalo, who's been real solid on the New Hampshire blue line. Comes back to the point. Van Ryn's shot, kind of fanned on it, and it goes to the corner. Comes up as Michigan looks to set up the power play now. Off for Scott Master. They come back to the point for Berensweg. Thrown down deeper. Bobby Hayes is there. Hayes working with it. Hayes out there with Greg Crozier as they form the front-man unit along with Master. Up, down, and there is Crozier. Crozier backhand, centering pass. It's broken up, and it comes back out to center.
Interesting that UNH started with Shapolsky and Souza up front, not the big guys who score all the shorthanded goals for UNH. Becker, Krog, Mowers, and Nolan are the guys. Nolan's in the penalty box. Those guys have all 15 shorthanded goals. Maybe they were banking on trying to wear out the power play of Michigan first and then get some of these guys out there. Mowers is out there now along with Krog. So I assume that's maybe what the tactic was, to try to wear out the power play a little bit of Michigan and then get the speedy guys who have the ability to read, jump on loose pucks, and go down the ice in the outnumbered attack.
McCall will circle back. 30 seconds left in the power play. Under 3 to go in the hockey game. Michigan 3 minutes away from advancing to the championship game. Here's McCall. Backhand shot. Score! Off the centering feed from McCall. It's Matt Herr on the goal. And that will wrap it up. Michigan, a 4-0 lead.
You know, we've seen a couple of down-low plays, bang, bang, right in front of the Michigan net, and UNH comes away empty. This is a repeat performance only by Michigan, and this is Michigan's afternoon, folks. A quick centering pass right in front, and they will cap it off. There wasn't much margin for error for the offensive guy or the defensive player. Michigan knows it's their afternoon. 4-0 with a great goal by Matt Herr. He put that one right up under the crossbar.
Matt Herr, one of the Many fine seniors on this Michigan team. We told you their winning percentage in their 4 years at Michigan is exactly .799. They're going to go over 800 with a victory here. Imagine that, a winning percentage of 800. You don't know how to lose. That's a good quality to have.
Yeah, no kidding. Matt Hurd just showed up at the spot at the same time the puck did. That was a terrific pass from out of the corner. And he snuck in from behind the defenders. Defenders never saw him. Hurd got there and just shoveled it on the backhand. Real difficult shot. But again, that's Michigan has just finished off, and things have gone their way this afternoon.
It's her from McCall and Langfield at 17-12, a power play goal, second power play goal of the afternoon for Michigan, and it's 4-0. Dick Umili said, hey, we're not a Boston school, but we are a New England school. We hope to have the fans rooting for us. And they were rooting for them early on. But it's been tough going here against the superior Michigan squad, at least superior this afternoon. And Marty Turco's been great in goal when he's been called upon. New Hampshire has a rare shots on goal edge here in the third. 2-1. It's 10-5 shots on goal for New Hampshire. They've been unable to beat Turco in this period or in the game for that matter.
And Michigan's just smothering them right now. There's effort there by New Hampshire. They have not given up at all. But at every turn, it just seems that they're playing right into Michigan's hands. Michigan's positioning and their ability to take away the strength of New Hampshire, which is the turnover game, has made all the difference at all. They're running at each other now.
Some frustration you can see on the part of New Hampshire developing, and it develops right in front of the New Hampshire bench, which is dangerous. You could see this coming, though.
Yeah.
As New Hampshire obviously frustrated, they've been frustrated throughout the afternoon.
Yeah, the sticks were getting carried a little high there. Some pretty good shots exchanged by 2 or 3 different players. Red Berenson very quickly to get his players out of there. He's came right down to the edge of the bench. There's the first bang into the boards by Clark. And then a reciprocation there. Gagnon. And then he receives one in the back of the head. And then I don't even know who it is that comes in from left field. Might be Barron's way.
Now look at our storyline, and there you see the Wolverines and their tournament winning percentage. That's all time, and it's pretty good. It's second all time. Wolverines dominated the special teams, and they're headed for their 4th straight championship round here today.
And our storyline replay is the last goal by Michigan. Matt Hurd, the quick centering pass. He arrives, the puck arrives, and he shoveled it right up under the crossbar past Sean Mattil again. Nothing that Sean Mattil could do on that save. Michigan has orchestrated this game from the very start, from the first drop of the puck, the first shift. They got it in deep on UNH, put tremendous pressure on them throughout the first period. The ice seemed tipped towards the UNH's end, and they just never seemed to get out of it, never been able to establish their game. And a lot of credit to Matt Hurr and his guys from Michigan who have dominated this game most of the way.
Michigan, Brian, in talking to the players and their coach, Red Berenson, they really downplayed the experience edge. Again, this is their 6th trip to the last 7 seasons to the NCAA Hockey Frozen Four, while UNH has never been here. Is that fair that they were downplaying it? It's got to be a factor.
Well, yeah, I think it's a factor, but when you realize the mix that Red Berenson's got, it's 5 guys that have been here, 5 guys out of a team. Then they're trying to relate to 9 freshmen, and sometimes that's hard. You can say anything you want, but when there's only 5 guys trying to control 20 that actually play in the game, I think that's why Red Berenson was hesitant, and I was hesitant to say that they're an experienced club. They're an interesting mix because of the 5 seniors, but with 9 freshmen, wow, you don't quite know how that's going to work out, but it's working out just perfectly for Michigan.
I would say so, especially this afternoon. We're 4-on-4 as penalties were handed out. Johnson and Langfield, each got minor penalties. And Mowers is in the penalty box with a 10-minute misconduct penalty. And so that does not affect the man foul. Final minute to play. Michigan on their way to the championship game. Saturday night, Brian and I will have the call for you over on ESPN at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Michigan will play the winner of tonight's Boston College-Ohio State game as that puck goes in to the Michigan bench.
So the way it sits right now, the brackets, the way they sit, Michigan is going to go on and win this game. We'll have eliminated New Hampshire. And later on tonight, Steve mentioned 8 o'clock, ESPN2, Boston College against Ohio State. Real Cinderella story there for Ohio State. And of course, Boston College playing in their own backyard. It'll be a terrific game tonight.
New Hampshire had a terrific season. I'm sure they're going to be disappointed with this one.
Yes.
but a tremendous year. 25-12-1 will be the way their record will end up. With 15-8-1 in Hockey East this season, and they can be real proud of the effort they gave today and really the effort they've given all season.
Yeah, early on there was people that said, yeah, we think UNH is going to go all the way and have a good season. Then they had a difficult time for a while, and people didn't give them a chance. So they've ridden the roller coaster a little bit, proved a lot of people wrong. They can be very proud of themselves. UNH, even though things didn't go right for them here this afternoon, Steve, I admire their tenacity. They absolutely never gave up. They tried to create plays. They just were not given the room to do it. Michigan has done a job on them here this afternoon.
And that'll do it. They pile off the Michigan bench to congratulate Marty Turco. And when you see the numbers in the box score of this one, you'll see that Turco made only 19 saves, but maybe half of them were brilliant, and it comes in the shutout of a national semifinal game, Brian.
Absolutely, you're right. Turco's kind of the forgotten guy for this Michigan team, but he did make 2 or 3 absolutely spectacular saves, 1 in the first and 2 right at the end of the second period, so that UNH never was able to get their game going, never got any confidence going. That's what great goaltending is all about.
And now they will do the handshakes at center. The Michigan Wolverines advance on by a score of 4-0. And for New Hampshire, their season is history. Again, the final here in our first national semifinal game. Michigan shuts out New Hampshire behind Marty Turco by a score of 4-0. Our next game comes your way in about 3.5 hours. Brian and I will be right back here at the Fleet for Ohio State and Boston College for the right to play Michigan in the championship game. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For Brian Engblom and our entire crew, this is Steve Levy. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned now for the ESPN News Network. Again, our final, Michigan blanks New Hampshire behind Marty Turco, 4-0. We'll see you later tonight.